Hello, Mr. Baz. How are you doing?
Very well. How are you, Alex?
I'm very good, sir. I'm very good. I'm very good. Yeah, I mean, what a film we have this week.
Yes.
What a gem
An
we
absolute
found.
joy. Yeah.
Absolute joy. So we have watched the 2018 film called Shoplifters, which is a Japanese film that was heavily rewarded at Cannes Film Festival at the time. To be honest, not a lot of actors that I know. I haven't seen any of them anywhere else, which makes it even more a pleasure to watch.
Yeah.
And briefly, the film Shoplifters is about a family, put it that way, of various different ages, from grandma to a little girl, that are live on the fringes of society, let's call them. So they're very poor, but in contrast with not having much, they are a joy to watch and completely very happy, I would say. And it's 2018. Is directed by, I'm going to read this because I don't want to mess it up. Kore-eda Hirokazu is the director, and we're going to watch a quick clip just to give an idea of what it is all about.
ねえ私が行った通りだったでしょ。
そんなの長続きしないよ。
そうだけどさ、いやほら血がつながってない方がいいってこともあるじゃない。
まあ余計な期待しないだけね。そうそう。お姉さんよく見ると綺麗だね。
何言ってんの。
顔。
行ってくる。よし。長津。
Okay, so that's the grandma and the daughter, head of the family, I would say, watching the rest of the family on the beach playing.
Yes.
But walk us a little bit through what it is all about, Baz.
Yeah.
Trying
yeah.
to avoid spoilers, obviously.
Of course, yeah. So obviously the grandma is quite a vital member of this makeshift family. So you have kind of like the grandma at the head of the family, then the husband, the wife, and then you have two makeshift daughters, one being, I'd say, in 19, then the little girl that they inherit at the start of the film,
Yes.
and then this 11-year-old boy who's been with them for quite a while. And yeah, they're all thrown together. None of them are really related, and as the film unfolds, you'll realise what I mean by that. And at the very beginning, the humble beginnings, yeah, this little girl, I think Yuri is how you pronounce her name, is found on the streets of the Tokyo, kind of, rough area, poverty-stricken area, freezing. So they take her in because clearly her parents aren't doing a very good job, and I think she shows sign that she's been abused as a child, which is really upsetting. She's very young; she's like 4 or 5. So they kind of take her into this family home, and it's all very. It's funny because we both said, oh, it's got Parasite vibes to it, whereas actually Parasite has got Shoplifter vibes to it because Shoplifters came out 3 years prior to Parasite.
Before Parasite.
So
Yes,
if you've seen Parasite, you like this. You'll like this Shoplifters film as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's great to watch because what you see unfold throughout the film. After they take in this little girl, is just this kind of bond and unison between all of the characters, and they all play their pivotal roles of coming together as a family and kind of making ends meet, because the money is so stricken. There's a reason that the dad and the little boy are stealing food. It's not even any goods usually. It's just food, and they work very low paid jobs, and then they're living off the kind of grandma's pension. And you're looking at it at first and you're thinking, morally, is it right what they're doing with the stealing and stuff? And is this the best environment to raise children in? And then the slightly older daughter, the 19, 20-year-old, she's kind of embroiled in this kind of strange kind of
very
would you say
unusual
prostitution, but not really. It's this kind of like sex
it's...
trade, and I'm not sure if they're complicit in knowing that. I think the grandma knows she's doing that, and yet doesn't seem to have an issue with it. So all the there's kind of this moral. Is it right what the family are about and how they live? But how did you find it, Alex, when you're watching it through as the film goes along?
Is a joy to watch. So it's a masterpiece in my books because I don't know where to start. So the story, first of all, puts a lot of moral questions on the table, including for this family. So there are points where we enter the family via the little girl. So they find this girl literally on the street and she's abused. There's clear signs that she's abused by her parents, and they take her into this already crowded little shed that they live in.
It's tiny, isn't it? Yeah.
It's tiny, but everybody's happy, and they just take her, and they can see another spirit in a soul, abandoned soul in this little girl. And then, is that the right thing to do? This girl turns out on TV, there's a news media that this girl has disappeared and nobody knows where she is. And then at one point, the mother that has adopted her and has rooted with her because she was abused when she was younger. She is put in a position at the job that she has, which is in the laundry, to decide between revealing to the world that she has this girl that everybody thinks she's either has died or has been kidnapped, or losing her job, which provides food for her. Remember that moment when...
Yes, and that's a great moment.
Between two colleagues, they need to decide.
Love as well, isn't it? It's a show of love.
Yes.
And
so that's another moral question that this film puts, besides what the dad does by teaching the boy to shoplift, and then the boy himself teaches the little girl to shoplift.
Yeah.
And it's that's they don't steal jewelry, or they don't at one point when the mother speaks with the boy that's just been shoplifting, he says, the boy says, Mom, I'm doing this and I'm teaching the little girl. And the mother says, well, as long as the shop doesn't go bankrupt, it's fine. That's what we can do. That's how we survive. And it's all of these moral decisions that is consistently on there, which is brilliant.
And then also you find out in the movie as well that the mother of the family, she can't have children herself, which again is another moral question, and it throws a spanner in the works of is that why they have inherited these children? Is it out of love, or is it just because this woman can't have children, so she's just found an excuse to kind of take in two children? But I think that's just there as a red herring almost. I want to believe that this family is great when they're all together and they shouldn't be separated. But
the mother instinct is in her. She behaves like
and
a mother.
What is it to be a mother? That's a question.
That.
That's a question in the film as well. What is it to be a mother? Because it isn't simply just to give birth to a child, is it?
Correct.
Clearly not.
Correct. Yeah, clearly not. Yeah, because the little girl is where she is, and what's happened to her. Yeah. And then the ways obviously is very well acted, but the film changes tone depending on where you are with the story. So whenever you're with this family, through their happy moments, is bright, is warm colors, is it's wide open shots, and you can see all of them laughing and playing and things like that. And as soon as it turns a bit darker, then the colors change and everything is less light, and the police is dressed in dark clothes and things like that. So the whole film just breathes that life of that, what the family emotions goes through.
Yeah.
And it's just fantastic put together, to be honest.
I enjoyed a lot of the cinematic shots as well. I think you'll remember there's one in particular where there's fireworks going off in the night time, and there's this great aerial view, and the camera's above the roof of the house, and it just focuses down, and all of the family members are coming out like one by one to have a look up. And I don't know why, I just thought, what a great shot to do. And they're meant to be looking up at the fireworks. I think they're just listening, not even actually visually seeing. But they're looking up at us. And it's just great because they show all their personalities in this like little kind of view of the ground. And it's
also
fantastic.
shows the class, the society classes, because they're looking up at you and you're looking down at them.
Yeah.
Because you're looking towards them, but the camera is looking down
I
at them.
didn't
And
even
the camera is the audience.
That retrospective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're laughing to your face. They're saying we're probably much happier than you are, even though you're up there.
Yeah. That's very well observed. That is, definitely. But and also it's weird because when you're because you get involved with them, don't you? You know, about an hour into the film, you could totally enshroud in their environment, and you forget how poor they are. And then towards like the final part of the film, when you see more scenes of, shall we say, like normal Tokyo life, and there's a scene in a hospital, and there's scenes where they deal with authority figures. You remember how poor they are, and everyone else is wearing a suit and they're a bit cleaner and they're well presented. But there's no humanity in these people like there was in the family, and it just goes to show that, you know, it's not about class or wealth or anything else. Even education, you know, there's so much joy and happiness and a family bond that nothing else matters.
The film does a good job by allowing the audience, welcoming the audiences in this bubble of happiness that this family lives in. Because when you're with them, you enjoy their happiness, and you feel, you know, the little moments, going to the beach and having a joke and laughing and eating the cheap food and all of that stuff. And, you know, the boy turning into a man and all those discussions and all of that. So it's just such a pleasant moments to be with the family. And then, like you said, you forget that they're poor, which is what a family should be like. They should just be happy. And I'll leave it at that because I don't want to spoil what's going on.
Yeah. Well, you could. That's I think again a sign of a good film because there's lots you can talk about. But you know, I think we've summarised it quite well. I think this is already going to be in my top 3 for films of the year that I've seen, definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah. Shoplifters. I watched it on Prime Video, rented. I think for about £3. This was on a deal.
Well worth the money. Well worth.
What a fantastic film. Yeah. Okay, Baz. Until next week, I shall see you later.
Yeah. Take care, Alex. Bye.
Bye.